Explain.
Dissent and Democracy, The Legacy of Abrams versus United States. In the bustling streets of New York City, amidst the tumult of World War I, a group of impassioned activists, led by Jacob Abrams, found themselves at the heart of a legal battle that would etch their names into the annals of American jurisprudence. It was a time of fervent patriotism, and the U.S. government, wary of dissent, had fortified its legal arsenal with the Sedition Act of 1918, an amendment to the Espionage Act aimed at quelling opposition to the war effort. Abrams and his comrades, recent immigrants who carried with them the fervor for revolution from their homeland, Russia, sought to challenge the American intervention in the Russian Civil War. Through the simple act of printing and distributing leaflets, pleas for peace and solidarity with the revolutionaries, they unwittingly positioned themselves on a collision course with the formidable machinery of the U.S. legal system. The leaflets, cast into the air from a fourth-floor window of a lower Manhattan hat factory, were a call to action, a denunciation of the weapons produced to crush the communist uprising. Yet, to the U.S. government, these papers were not mere expressions of political dissent but a clear and present danger to the nation's war efforts. Arrested and charged under the Sedition Act, Abrams and his fellow activists faced the full weight of a system that viewed their critique as an act of sedition. Their trial was swift, their convictions a foregone conclusion. But it was their appeal to the Supreme Court that turned their story from a footnote of dissent into a landmark legal saga. The Supreme Court's decision in Abrams versus United States was a resounding affirmation of the government's stance. With a 7-2 majority, the court held that the activists' speech had indeed constituted a clear and present danger to the United States war efforts. Justice John Hesson Clark, in penning the majority opinion, delineated the rationale behind the Sedition Act's enforcement, casting the defendants' actions as an attempt to undermine the country's military endeavors. Yet, within the somber pronouncements of the court's ruling, a dissenting voice emerged, that of Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes. Holmes, a venerable figure in American law, offered a counter-narrative that would resonate through the ages. He argued for a broader interpretation of free speech, one that recognized the importance of dissent and the marketplace of ideas in a vibrant democracy. Holmes's dissent was not merely a legal argument but a philosophical treatise on the nature of freedom and the essential role of opposition in the pursuit of truth. The immediate aftermath of the ruling saw Abrams and his associates bearing the brunt of their convictions, their sentences a testament to the era's restrictive view of free speech. However, the legacy of their struggle, and particularly Holmes's dissent, would sow the seeds for a transformative shift in American jurisprudence. Over the decades, the principles espoused by Holmes would gain traction, influencing a gradual reevaluation of free speech rights. The clear and present danger standard, once a bulwark against dissent, would eventually be supplanted by a more nuanced approach, culminating in the Supreme Court's landmark decision in Brandenburg v. Ohio, which set forth the imminent lawless action standard. The story of Abrams versus United States is thus a narrative of evolution, a testament to the dynamic interplay between law and society. It is a reminder of the power of dissenting voices to challenge and ultimately reshape the contours of freedom, ensuring that the marketplace of ideas remains a cornerstone of American democracy.